I want you to listen to this video before you make a comment. I want you to really hear me. So, let's get into it. I want to get married. And let me outline the reasons I want to get married. I found my person. I love her, and she loves me. And I want to make her proud to be my wife. This thing of most of society, well, not most, because 6,500 people get married, I think, every day or something like that. I'm not sure about the numbers, but I know a lot of people get married. And marriage is the foundation of a strong social society. But for me, let me explain where I'm at. Have you ever had someone in your life you think about all the time? In those little quiet moments, you think about them, you just smile. When you just are just doing life. I typically don't go to the grocery store because I eat out all the time. I find immense joy going to the grocery store with her. I find pleasure in the way that she shops. She has this habit of feeling fruit and feeling everything. She likes to touch stuff. She likes fluffy stuff. I mean, it's funny, like watching it. It's a pleasure to go to Walmart and just shop with her. It's a pleasure to be in her company. It's a pleasure just to hang out with her. We're really not doing anything at all. So, as I said before, this is my person. And many, many men are against marriage. And I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on why men are against marriage. First of all, marriage requires you to be responsible. I have taken on husbandly duties before we got married. Why would I do such a thing? Marriage should be the continuation of the relationship. In my opinion, there should not be anything newer. It should be a more solid bond that continues. The reason I personally feel that so many men do not want marriage, they don't want the responsibility. They don't want to be responsible. They don't want the weight of marriage. And I've taken it upon myself, I'm responsible for her. If she has a need I could solve, I'll fulfill it. And this is the thing that scares men. Let me go back to Disruptive Male. When I designed the Disruptive Male program, the very first thing was economics. The second thing was get your body together. The third thing was date submissive women. And the fourth thing was to get submissive women to give you the sex that you wanted. And men leaped over economics and leaped over the body and went straight to the sex. And this is a group of guys, I think, are pissed at me because I pulled the program. Essentially, I want to build a solid family. Let me go ahead and give you my dad plans. I'm going to be the type of dad, I'll be home. I'll be the dad taking my kids to school. I'll be the dad picking my kids up from school. I'll be home a lot. And this is one of the reasons I'm designing my business the way it is. Today I've been home working on stuff and my employer's running the business. I wasn't even there. That will be a continuation. So the core reason that I want to be married is to honor the woman I love in the most majestical way. To stand before the public and say, I want you to be my wife. And to declare before the public and God, this woman is my wife. That's what I want. And once again, this is YouTube. The majority of men, many women, I don't want to be married. I don't want no parts of that. I just want free, cheap, easy sex. I will say this. If you become fortunate enough to find your person, someone that loves you with reciprocation, someone that cares about you, you will feel the way that I feel. And I'm going to say the reason that you cannot find that is because you're doing defensive dating. You're dating not to get hurt. You're dating not to be open. You're dating not to be wounded. And for you to actually level up your dating, you must be open and you must have a level of courage. So that's where I'm at. And one of the things I enjoy about us is when we get in those little silly moods, we laugh. To me, it's one of the most beautiful moments of the relationship where we can laugh together and enjoy each other. Tonight, this is a book of poetry I wrote years ago. 2009, I shared a poem with her tonight, just to do it. And she said, "Wow, that's beautiful." I didn't know what to expect. I just do stuff. And then tonight, I wrote her my first love letter. These are things that I have not done in years. I feel that this union has brought me back to my original self. This is who I've always been, and it is putting me in a really good position to be loved, to be cared for, to have that type of consideration. And let's talk about something else that's in the title. There will not be a prenuptial. Why? I'm in the process of rebuilding my life. I'm not as rich as I used to be. I think this is the brokest. I shouldn't say I'm broke. I should say this is the least amount of money I've had in years. So I feel that I'm rebuilding, even though I have the ability to take her out every night of the week. I have the ability to buy her pretty much anything she wants. So I feel that I am rebuilding. I don't feel that there's this whole block of money that I must protect. I don't feel that way. And based upon who she is as a person, I'm not worried about a prenup. I'm not worried about her trying to take me for my money. Because like I said, I'm in a rebuild mode. This is the rebuild watch, which is, okay, that's the rebuild. Watch. Now, a lot of people are going to look at this video and think that I'm crazy. Well, Mr. Cameron, you should get a prenup and you should do it. I'm not doing all that. Because this woman has my heart, and with it, she has my soul. And some of the things that she said to me makes me believe that she feels the same way. This was early on with our dating. I met this woman November 23rd, 2025. We dated, our first date was November 23rd. November 23rd, 2025. Her family kind of lost their mind because we were spending so much time together. And it's like, well, we need to spend Thanksgiving with us. So she comes over and she said, "We had been dating about a week." And this was her actual words. She said, "Next Thanksgiving, I'll be there." That's what she said. Our first week of dating, she said, "Next Thanksgiving, I'll be there." Because, it's the holidays, family stuff and everything. And we had this conversation. I said, "Next year, those are my days." She said, okay. So that's where I think she's in the same spot. And one of the things that I find to be really appealing is I don't look my age. I'll be 60 this year. And she will be 28 next month, March 8th. And I don't feel strange about it. I don't feel weird about it. I don't. And this is something else. We've never even had the age gap conversation. She's never even brought it up. So I'm going to be a man that'll be 60 years old with a wife that's 28 years old having children. Saying that out loud sounds a little crazy, but it's the reality of the situation. And let me go ahead and break it down. I've already told her this. I've told her this. It's like, 16 months from now, I'm buying the house, paying cash for it. And I said, we're having a housekeeper. And this is a conversation we had. I said, when you get pregnant and have a baby, you'll be home, and then I'm gonna take 3 months off, and I'll be home with you and the baby. We've had that conversation, and not once has she ran or said, or she's like, she 10 toes down. She's like, okay. So I'm very close to Dobbins Airport, Dobbins Air Base, and literally the number of planes flying overhead today is kind of blowing my mind. But we've had those conversations already, early. And I have known her December 23rd, January 23rd, the 23rd of this month, it'll be 90 days. And the last person I was with, from a romantic standpoint, was a complete and utter disaster. Not once did I think of marrying this woman. Not once did I ever thought that I wanted her to be my person forever and ever. Never entered my mind. Second week I knew Tressie. That entered my mind. And once you know, because I consider it good fortune to have dated a lot of women. And I knew that she was instantly different. I knew this the first time I met her. I knew this. Instantly different. Hard worker. And recently I found out something that made my heart smile. She's a natural entrepreneur. When she was 20 years old, she started a business. She had $9,000 a month. She's a natural. I'm an entrepreneur. She's an entrepreneur. You don't understand what that means. The house is about to be activated. So there's a lot of you who will watch this video and think I'm crazy, or you would want the old disruptive male type to come out. Disruptive male is dead. I no longer have that lifestyle. I no longer want that lifestyle. And I am extremely happy with where I'm at now and with what I have. I'm very, very happy. And this whole notion of all the men who are I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The reason that you're afraid of marriage is because your economics are fucked up. And because your economics are fucked up, and you can barely support yourself, you cannot even dream of supporting anyone else. So you run from that. Now, once again, my economics are not what they used to be, but I'm working on that. I would assume by September, I'll be back to where I used to be, maybe before. And that's more than enough money to take care of a family, easily. So that's where I'm at. In the prenup, I don't really have any assets. I no longer own a house. I just have some cash. To me, it doesn't make any sense to instigate a prenup conversation when I don't feel that that is something that is even worth talking about with her. it makes no sense because once again, I'm in rebuild mode. I am rebuilding my life, doing things very differently. And something else, when I looked at this apartment, I brought her. Every apartment I looked at, she was with me. Probably in March, I'm getting a dog, maybe a cat. Hadn't quite decided. Maybe a cat. And after that, I'm getting a family. And first, I'm gonna get me a wife, get married, then have some children. Notice I said plural, not a child, children. And then my goal is, once again, I think a lot. If I can make it to 95, I can see my kids reach middle age. So that's my goal, which means I went to see my doctor today. My blood pressure is extremely stable. It was actually much lower. It was like 90 over 60. And I don't do vegan, but I do a lot of meals with no meat. So I'm going to be in the process of taking care of myself so I could be around. Because this is why I'm going to be home. I'm gonna be a home dad. I'm not going to be all over the world, leaving my wife and kids at home while I'm out playing. That ain't happening. What's going to happen is I travel, they go with me. We travel together. So this whole notion of, I met someone and I was saying, yeah, I'm going to marry my baby. And he was like, why? And he was in a relationship and they had children and the relationship wasn't going well. And he could not even see why someone would want to be married. And I said, don't you want to honor your woman? Don't you want to make her proud? Do you want her to walk around and be proud that you're her husband? Conversation went over his head. But that's where I'm at. And I think marriage is a good thing. And there are a lot of tremendously good women out there. There's a ton of them. And I got a question for you. If you're the man that you say you are, why is it so hard for you to find a good woman? I have a theory. You may think you're a good man because of your own instincts and thought processes, but in the marketplace, you're just a regular old dude. And a regular old dude gets the bottom of the trash barrel in women. I think of myself as being an exceptional dude. I've written 20 books. I've done a lot. So let me know your thoughts and opinions, because I know a lot of folks are going to be shocked.